Hello guys, you're all welcome once again to my YouTube channel. My name is Lydia Stone and it's a pleasure to welcome all my new subscribers, and I hope these stories inspire you, motivate you in your day-to-day life. Please, if you can relate to any of these stories, don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section, because so many people are learning and so many people are reading, and you never know who is in need of that advice or that story. Yes, mama. Okay, today I'm going to be talking about how I gained my self-confidence. You'll never believe that I used to be a girl with a very low self-esteem. So sit back and enjoy the show. I grew up in a very horrible environment. In an environment where they will bring you down, they will talk down on you at home, they will criticize every part of your body. They will tell you you are nothing. They will remind you of who you are and where you come from. That is the kind of place I come from. There's no day that goes by without you hearing something negative about yourself. I used to be so afraid of people, especially people in the house I was living in. I used to be so scared. Sometimes I'll be facing some difficulties, but I'll not be able to air out my mind just because of the fear that I had, because like I said, everything was like war in that house. There's war with words. There was just so much war with words that you not want to mess up, you don't want to say something that is wrong, because immediately the way they will talk to you, the way they will abuse you is going to be so most of the time I was scared to express myself, not talk of the beating. They will beat the hell out of you, and when they want to beat me, they make sure they remove all my dresses and they will have to beat me naked. Yes, so I was so afraid. I actually developed this fright. There's something that used to happen to me, like I'll just sit and I'll just shake like this. It happened to me right up to, it's not been long that left me. I used to just sit and I shake like I shiver, just because of that fear. It's because of that trauma. You hardly know that I'm a stammerer, because it was out of fear. It was out of low self-esteem. So because mine was not actually like my words were tight, mine was like I will not be able to air out my speech. I'll just get stuck on the way while trying to talk. That is how much I had low self-esteem. But you see me today, you hardly know that I had that kind of low self-esteem. It affected me so much, even right up to my speech. From the memories I had of my primary school, I was quite a shy child. I was a follower. I could carry my friends' bags, and yeah, that was just the memory I had when I was in primary school. But it got worse when I was in secondary school. From one, I was already thinking that other girls are better than me. Like seriously, yeah, to the extent in which I started following this girl. She was so beautiful and I became her friend. I don't know how, and I could carry her bag, follow her around during break. She would buy me things like I was her small. But funny enough, we were in the same class. Like that is how much I had low self-esteem. So this story is very funny. While I was in that Form 1, there was this girl that came from the UK, and you see girls around her, they'll follow her around during break, they'll carry her bag. I walked up to the girl and I told her, I want you to be my friend. She was like, there's no problem, there's no problem. So I also wanted to be one of those girls who follow her around and carry her bag and hear her talk. I admire other girls to the extent during break. I was in Form 2C. There were these very beautiful girls in Form 2B. I would just find myself going to stand beside their window just to look at them, how they are doing, like how they are beautiful. Like I would just feel like, oh my god, these girls are so much better than me. I went now to another extent. I started trying to copy other girls. I want to copy the way they write, the way they walk, the way they speak. Like that is how much low self-esteem I had, and it was so horrible. I would think of myself as the least person ever. That is because of the home. That is how I grew up. They made me to know like I was nothing. Yeah, so it is very dangerous for your child to stay in that kind of environment where they constantly bring her down or him down. It is very wrong. Even your own child, it is not good for you to say wrong words or demeaning words to them. Always uplift them from childhood, and they'll grow up with it. I saw it with myself from the way I grew up in that house. That is the mentality I had, that every other person was better than me. So if you have a child or you're bringing up children, be very careful with the kind of words you put out to them, because they'll grow with it in their head. You know, it is words that form a child. Be very cautious of the words you use with your children at home. Yeah. So I'll go to that day to Form 2B. I'll admire those girls. You know, there was this one I used to imagine that we are best friends, that we become sisters. At the end, I actually became best friends with one of them. She's actually my best friend right now. She's my sister and all. Like it's just amazing how life is. Yeah, so when I got to Form 3, it continued. Form 3 became worse. I could not go out for break because I was shy. At home, they told me my legs were so thin, and I had that in my head, so I could not go out for break because I would think that my legs are so thin. Plus, I had a crush. I was so shy that he was going to see me and he was going to see how thin my legs were, you know. All through my primary school, my secondary school, I hardly smile. I could hardly smile in pictures. That's because I was told I have this hanging tooth. They call it vampire tooth. Like, I could hardly smile because I thought that if I smile, they're going to see it and it's going to be so embarrassing. Yeah. So even talking in class in front of people, it was not my thing. I could never do it. I vowed to never answer questions in class. Imagine me trying to answer a question in class in Form 3 and my words got stuck. I could not air out my words. Imagine, in front of the whole class. Like, it was so embarrassing. They started laughing at me. I was just like, oh God, I vowed I would never do it again. And I never did. I continued with that mindset. From 4, as I started admiring this group of girls. They had a group and I wanted to be a part of their group. I went and met them and I told them I wanted to be a part of their group, that they are so cool and all. They accepted me into their group, but it wasn't easy for me because their lifestyle was totally different from mine. When they're going home, they'll take a taxi. I was not used to that. I would trek home during break. They'll eat very well because they had money. They'll come to school with so much money. I didn't have that money. Like, it wasn't easy, but I was still trying to blend. They'll talk about their boyfriends and it was not easy for me to blend. So at the end of the day, the group did not survive. Yeah, not because of me, but we had our misunderstandings and we went our separate ways. From 5, the same thing. But from 5 now, there was this girl in school who was very hot. Yeah, she was one of those hot chicks and she came and made me her friend. Yeah, so both of us were dating 2 friends and it was just amazing. So that was how I started coming out of my shell just a little bit, but still I was still the girl in the background because like I was still that girl who is not out there, you know. Yeah, so Lower said I was made the class prefect. I don't know how that happened, but it was because I started coming to school early. Yeah, so we were just few of us in class and they just made me the class prefect. It was not like it was like a serious competition. Even though they made me the class prefect, I was still very shy. I didn't know how to stand in front of the students, in front of my classmates to talk. Teachers would give me notes to dictate and it was so difficult in the beginning for me to stand in front of the class and dictate those notes. I tell you, it was not easy. But I pulled it off. I tried. Still I was still that shy girl, never smiling in pictures, don't talk in front of people. I was still that girl. Upper said everybody was just minding their business. I don't know, I was just there. Upper said I was just there and all. When I went to university, that was when things started changing. This is just the part 1 of this video. I think I'm going to do the part 2 to tell you guys how I moved from that girl to this girl. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This is just the part 1. Please, if you can relate to any of these stories, you have a similar experience or whatsoever, just say something in the comment section because so many people are struggling with their self-esteem. In the part 2, I'm going to be telling you guys on how everything changed. Please like this video, share this video, comment on this video, subscribe to my channel please, because there's so many stories that I can tell. Like seriously, like I can never run out of stories. There's just so many stories and I'm here for it. So this channel is all about storytelling. You can tell your story in the comment section. So see you guys in the part 2. Bye bye.